In this video, I'll dive into the 3 most important updates for Orb Producer Suite 2.0. We'll go ahead and start with the first major update, which is the fact that you can rename the themes. So you can right-click, hit rename, and call it a verse or a chorus or what have you. So you can do verse and rename chorus. Great. Okay, so that is improvement number 1. Not particularly fancy, but very important, and will help you not get lost in your own production. Improvement number 2 is the ability to play chords by MIDI input. So you can turn on this button here, and this will let you use your MIDI keyboard to determine what chord is being played. If I play a D minor chord, it knows this is D minor. You now have the ability to play one-note chords. You can play the keys. What's interesting about this plugin that I hope they change is that if you play a key that is not in the key, that it will still generate a chord, maybe the next highest or next lowest, the closest chord. So I hope they fix that in an update. Right now, it will only generate chords if you play one note that is in the key. So I have to play a key that's in C minor, and right now I'm playing E natural, which is not in the key of C minor. But if I were to play E flat, it would play E flat, which is a chord, and that is in C minor. If you know your chord progression, you want to play them, you can play 4 different chords, and it will scroll through that way if you click this button. It struggles a little bit in real time if you're trying to play along to a track or something to figure out the chords, but it does work, and it's definitely a workflow enhancement for those of you that want to use your keyboard or MIDI device. Okay, the third update is this Harmonize button. And right now it's a button. Hopefully you'll be able to drag MIDI into here, but for now you can only click the button and import a MIDI file. And what this does is, I don't even have words for it. It basically generates an entire arrangement for the melody or chords or anything that you put in that's MIDI. It will generate another version of it. And what's great is if you don't like that version, well, I have to show you. So we'll start with something simple. I just want to show you how it can take a melody that you recognize and can do things to it. You can stretch this MIDI clip out to 8 bars just so it doesn't get confused. We can take this MIDI clip or any MIDI clip that you have, that you've created from the internet, that you found on the internet, anything, and import it into the Harmonize function. So first, we'll need to right-click, export selection. We'll call this Mary. And we'll import that into Orb Chords. So now you click the Harmonize button, you import your MIDI clip, which could be anything. You tell it it's a melody, you tell it it's 8 bars, and it detects the key for you, C major, which is what I played this in, and then you click the Harmonize button, and now you have some magic. It has generated chords for you automatically. This on its own is amazing. I don't know, I don't really have words for what this is doing, so I'm just gonna play this back. There's something bigger coming, not just the more parts that we know that Orb can generate. There's something else bigger. Keep watching. We can bring in arpeggios, and we know this will generate an arpeggio track, and it will follow along just fine. And if we don't like the sound, we can change it. I didn't go into detail before in my last review, but the synthesizer is pretty amazing. It has this modulation matrix which makes automating things to the LFO and other things like that very simple. So if you want to use this LFO to modulate this envelope, you go to envelope, and LFO1, there we go. And then you would just click, and the strange thing about this is you have to drag, click and drag, but that will give you the amount that LFO affects that envelope. You could apply it to the wavetable and oscillator 2 here. Oscillator 2 frequency, so you could do that here with LFO 1 or 2. It's already affected slightly by LFO 2. We could do a big one for LFO 1. And then you see it really jumping around. So there's all kinds of effects. Actually just changed the wavetable right here too also. So there's just so many possibilities for sounds in here that I didn't realize were available in here. You get a lot of bang for your buck with this plugin. And if you want to do more effects to it, you can always add more effects. I've been messing around with this UJAM Flux plugin. If you want to try it out, there should be a link in the description. We can go into a category, which is arpeggio, which is what we're doing, and we can listen to different sounds. And you can adjust the amount. I really like that. That's moving around nicely. It does seem to make it a little louder, so we'll turn it down. Now we'll add another instance of hexachords or bass to get the bass line going. And if I didn't show you before, this Orb button regenerates your bass line. So if this is too boring for you, obviously you could just simply just up the density or the complexity yourself, or you could just hit the button, get something random. Let's go with something. Same with the synth sounds. You can change the sound. So I think I want to make it a little more complex. Not that much. And just real quick, I'm going to thicken up the bass with the plugin, Mbassador. If you want to see more detail about this plugin, check out my review up here. There's one more hexachords plugin, is the melody. This generates a new melody for you, so this might clash a little bit with the other one. Let's see. I'm not sure about the sound. Let's see here. Let's switch to days. All right. It's very nice how it complements each other. Okay, and now for the big finale. Let's say we got all our instruments picked out, but we kind of like, this arrangement is boring, and I think I want to change it. You can actually hit this button here, and this will change all of the chords, and hopefully the melody will still work. Yeah. Because I noticed when I did this, the first time that I did this, I tried it on my own, and it gave me some crazy chords, and I was like, this doesn't work, you know, and that's part of why I didn't make this video. I was really disappointed, and I was freaking out. This is amazing. You can just push the button and get a new arrangement. Totally different chords every time. They all go with your melody. Want to change the melody that's going with this one to still match? Hit the Orb button again. It works just fine. You don't like your arpeggios? Your arpeggios are too boring? Turn up the complexity. A new feature, and I haven't mentioned yet, is this velocity tab. This works in a similar function as the regular Orb button, but it's all based on volume. So the strong beat is the 1 and 3, the weak beat is 2 and 4, and the off beat is everything else. So that'd be your eighth notes and whatnot. So you can get a whole different vibe by manipulating these velocity tabs here. It gives you a lot more detail and nuance that you can't really get in another plugin that I know of. The only drawback is that you can't drag and drop into this box yet. I think that would be cool, but it's not really that hard to open a file. Oh, fifth update option. Probably the most important update. This is not just for the melody, but if we were in the melody tab and we're like, yeah, but I want this note to jump all the way up. Oh, look, you can do it. And what's really cool, you can change notes in all of these. I think if you change it in the chords tab, it will change the actual chord. No, it does not. So that would be a good update, would be for this to update the chord that it's playing when you change the note. So that would be a minor gripe, but I do have the ability to do it now. As easy as it is to drag and drop MIDI out of this thing into another track, I don't have to now. I can just edit it inside of here. I can do this with every single thing. You can extend the bass note. Now it's a little glitchy, but it works just. The possibilities for the amount of music that we can create are pretty unlimited. And what I would say now is that now we are more tastemakers. Now we're more sound designers. Now we are more instrument preset pickers. So we have to use our taste-making skills to make music sound the way that we want. And I mean, I think this is the way it's been going for a long time. I know a lot of people that were classically trained. I did elect to take an Advanced Music Theory 1 course, an Advanced Music Theory 2 course, and there are a lot of rules and things, and that's how this can come up with all of these parts. It sometimes will break its own rules, which is great, and I think if you hold on to those ideas that you need to come up with every part on your own or something like that, that you're missing a huge opportunity here. AI has the potential to help you if you make beats super fast. If you want to make a tight beat or something like that, you could even import the melody into here of a song, and it will generate a new melody and new arrangement based on that melody. So the power of this is very impressive. Not only can you import a melody, but you could import an entire MIDI file with all the parts in here, and it would come up with something as well. So the ability to generate music based on other music has never been this easy, has never been this easy. The only thing that you have to worry about now are the drums, which hopefully in a future Orb update, they'll come up with some kind of drum percussion situation so that this is a proper competitor to Captain plugins. In the meantime though, we just got to use our own drums. For now, I used, in this track, I did use a UJAM plugin Void. If you want to try it out, there's a link in the description. That's how I got my drums for this track. It's very simple. You just play a note and it gives you a loop, and a different note gives you another loop. And if this video helped you in any way, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and hit the thumbs down button if you're afraid that Skynet is going to take over your music writing. There should be some more videos in the corner that will help you make a decision about hexachords, and hit subscribe if you want to get songs done faster. If you think that all of this AI music production is going to ruin music and take over your kitchen.